Welcome. I'm going to start off with three simple questions, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of history and tell you about myself, and then show some other people's. Let's start off with the three questions. Number one, do you want to leave a legacy for future generations? Number two, do you want to save taxes year after year, generation after generations? And number three, if you want to learn the secret of the rich, you're in the right location. Imagine saving 4, 5, 6 figures in taxes year after year, generation after generation. You can put this money back into your business. You could pay off your mortgage. You could buy a new vehicle. You could take your family on vacation, give to a charity, or save for retirement. Imagine all lawsuits become frivolous and go away. How much time, money, anxiety, worry will you save? Imagine no one knows what you own, how much you own, where you own it, what you do with it, how much you sell it for. Welcome to Save US Taxes Legally. My name is Sally Gimmon, and I'm the owner of thetrustisyou.com and a free class on the Great Discovery. My name, www.sallygimmon.com. I believe every US investor, US business owner, entrepreneur, franchisee owner, and 1099 income earner needs to know this information. It's not taught in schools. I believe since I found out the secret of the rich, it's because I had a problem with short-term capital gains. It's my responsibility to teach this to as many people as possible. I also believe the playing field must be leveled for all businesses. The Amazons of the world get free land on Staten Island. My brother's brewery lost their lease. Now, the trust is going to save you in 4 very important ways. Listen up. Number 1, you're going to save taxes year after year, generation after generation. Number 2, it's going to keep your information completely private. I'm a real estate investor. They told me from day one, get an LLC for every one of my properties. They did not tell me that 40% of LLCs, S Corps, and C Corps get sued every single year. That's important to know. Number 3, talking about lawsuits. You get all your assets inside the trust, and all lawsuits become frivolous and go away. True story. One of my clients this past summer was driving his RV. I haven't seen it, but I can imagine it's gorgeous. A $250,000 RV. He couldn't slow down for stop traffic. He hit the car in front of him that got pushed into the car in front of her. His insurance card showed the trust name. His driver's license showed his name, Illinois driver's license name. The insurance company paid to fix the 2 cars. 6 weeks after the accident, he got a $500,000 lawsuit for pain and suffering. Only thing he had to do was send the first page of the trust to the attorney and said, sorry, I can't do it. So you're going to keep the space, you're going to save taxes, keep your information private, all lawsuits become frivolous. And number 4, you won't have to do the paperwork for the 2024 Corporate Transparency Act. This is due December 31st, 2024 to the Treasury Department. If you are doing business as an LLC, as S Corp or C Corp, you have to do the paperwork. If not, you could be fined $10,000 and or 2 years in jail. Could you imagine going to jail with drug runners and murderers and say, oops, I didn't do the paperwork for the federal government? Kind of harsh. But if you have the Spendthrift Trust, you're exempt from doing that paperwork. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, how come my CPA or my financial advisor has not told me this? It's a good question. There are over 1 million attorneys in the United States, and only 4% are trust attorneys. A textbook, Trust Attorney Study in Law School, is Scott and Ascher on Trusts, 5th edition. You can also look up Spendthrift Trust and Black's Law Dictionary. Now, this comes from England. It's contract law that got started when King Henry VIII started the Church of England in 1534. That famous king who chopped off his wives' heads started the Church of England. He would go tax the lords and ladies of England, and they went further back in history to the 13th century to the Magna Carta and said, oh, no, King Henry VIII, you can't do this. It's contract law that came to the colonies while we were still part of England. Our current tax code that we're under went into effect February of 1913. It was only supposed to be around for a few years, and we got into World War I. So now, 111 years later, the only thing it's done is grown and grown and grown. But back in February of 1913, the super rich families, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, the Kennedys, made sure they could save taxes. Well, if they can save taxes, we can save taxes. Now, there are 5 elements to the trust, and I'm going to go over all 5 elements because you have to have these. It's irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, spendthrift trust. Irrevocable. It goes from generation to generation. The Rockefeller Spendthrift Trust is called the office, and it's 7 generations old. Does not mean that once you get something in the trust, it cannot come out of the trust. It's just you get something in the trust, and then the trust sells it, and the money goes into the trust, and then you have access to it. Irrevocable. Complex. This trust can hold money from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, decade to decade, century to century. 97% of the trusts sold out there are what my mom and dad had and what Susie Orman talks about on PBS television. The family trust. There's nothing wrong with the family trust. It only avoids going through probate. This trust does away with probate, inheritance tax, saves you taxes, keeps your information completely confidential, and all lawsuits become frivolous. This is not your mom and dad's trust. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary. Whoever is the trustee or trustees can make the rules for all the beneficiaries. There's no infighting, there's no contesting this in court or anything like that. Clients of mine, husband and wife, have 4 apartment buildings in Los Angeles. Their grown adult daughter lives in one of the apartments, and they're requiring her to pass 4 random drug tests per month. She actually took her parents to court, a federal court, and the judge looked over everything, and he said to her, you've got 2 options. Number 1, pass the drug test and live rent-free. Number 2, move out and start paying rent. I don't want to be a fly. I don't want to be invited to Thanksgiving dinner. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor. Whoever, when you start the trust, you're going to have someone who's the non-grantor or the settler. They can't be a trustee or a beneficiary. You will need their social security number. They will sign the paperwork, make this completely private, and then sign themselves away. It's not a speed bump. I just did this for somebody on Friday. And the 5th element, spendthrift, has been in front of the United States Supreme Court on 2 separate occasions, and both times it's been favored. You can't get more legal than this. So, Paul Benson was a Harvard law professor 76 years ago. He wrote 5 specific trusts to save taxes. We're going to talk about 2 of them tonight. He passed away, unfortunately, and now his grandson and great-grandson run the law firm, so the law firm has changed its name, but they have the copyright on the trust. In 76 years, not a single trust has ever been audited. They're so confident that when you buy a trust, you'll get a certification saying that if the IRS questions you, they will defend you free of charge. In 76 years, it's happened once. A senior IRS agent went down to Houston, spent 5 hours in the boardroom looking over everything, came out, he had certified the trust, and 3 weeks later sent a letter to the law firm unsolicited saying these were the tax codes he followed. If you're interested, I can give you a copy of that letter. Since we're going to be spending some time together, let me tell you a little bit about myself. October of 2018 was a watershed month for me. 3 major things happened. I'm living in Phoenix, working as a Medicare broker. My oldest nephew was getting married in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you know anything about Medicare, open enrollments from October 7th to December 5th. He was getting married October 28th. I had worked for the company for a year. I had not taken a vacation, and I asked for the Friday before and the Monday after the wedding off, and I was denied. Didn't like my job and liked it even less at that time. 3 days later, I'm driving to work to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning on a major east-west road in Phoenix, Indian School Road. Second car through on a green light. All of a sudden, someone runs a red light, T-bones me on my passenger side. He has no insurance. My uninsured motorist coverage didn't cover the whole payment of the car. I'm upside down, don't have gap insurance, and had to get a second car. I was comfortable, and now I'm eating ramen noodles twice a week, like I was in college. Third thing that happened, my mom and dad, who lived in Goodyear, Arizona, 25 miles west of Phoenix, drove from Goodyear to Charlotte for the wedding. They were supposed to be gone for 2 weeks. Thursday before the wedding, my dad calls me to say, your mom's in the emergency room, but I'm not sure what's going on. Friday before the wedding, I work until 8 o'clock at night, drive myself to Sky Harbor Airport, do a red eye to Charlotte. Family tradition, we go to IHOP for breakfast. Then my dad drives me to the hospital to see my mom. I walked in on the priest giving my mom last rites. I wasn't ready for that. It ended up, my mom had septic of the blood. She was on a ventilator for 13 months, in a hospital for 15 months. She got better. She came home, but she only lost 13 months of her memory. My dad stayed with my mom in Charlotte for 9 months. They were supposed to be gone for 2 weeks. This was about 9 o'clock in the morning. I run into the priest. Then I go to the wedding at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I had a fantastic time, friends and family from all over the world. And then on Sunday, my sister-in-law had a beautiful brunch. My dad drives me back to the hospital to see my mom. And then I flew home at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, North Carolina time, because I had to be back at work at 6 a.m. on Monday. I'm going out to their house in Goodyear once a week to do the mail. First week of Christmas, there's a letter that's 27 pages thick. It's my mom's Medicare statement for being in the emergency room and being in the hospital for a month. When I open it up, $72,000, but everything's cared for because she's got Medicare and she's got TRICARE for life because my dad was a retired military officer. I'm standing in my mom and dad's kitchen. I have a mortgage. I have 2 car payments. I have a $10,000 deductible on my health insurance. Thank God I wasn't injured in that car accident. I have student loans because I went to graduate school. And I have credit card debt. Right then and there, I call my friend Glenn, who invited me to a real estate meeting back in August of 2018. Glenn answers, and I says, I have to change my life today. He's like, Sally, next Saturday, we're having a Christmas potluck dinner. Bring a $5 gift, some food, and meet my fellow real estate investors. Don't know about y'all, but I'm not don't like going to parties where I don't know very many people. I'm so glad I went. Went to the party. In 2019, with my mentor, Jay Tannenbaum, I wholesaled 7 bank-owned properties nationwide, and I paid off $184,000 in debt. Woohoo! I'm a rock star in my real estate group. I'm debt-free. I know about capital gains, and I had $50,000 sitting in my bank account to pay for my capital gains. Everything's okay. April 4th, 2020, my CPA calls me and literally says, congratulations, Sally, your tax bracket went from 22% to 24%. We need to talk. What? So let me share this with you. Sorry, I've got to go down. Tax brackets. There are 7 different tax brackets. Depending on how much money you make, the more you pay. So I went from 22% right here, single, whoops, I hit the wrong button, single, to 24%. I made an appointment to go out to his office, have an appointment at 4:30 in the afternoon, because he was going to set me up on a payment plan to pay my $97,000 I owed in short-term capital gains because my tax bracket went up to 24%. Yikes. Drove out to his office, signed the paperwork, got my parking validated, went down to the parking garage, sat in my car, and cried for 20 minutes. If you know geography, Scottsdale's east of Phoenix, so it's now 5 o'clock. I'm driving back to Phoenix, tears running down my face. My great aunt Kitty always said, sleep on it. Oh, I want to show you the next slide too while we're here. This just came out this weekend. Taxes are going up for 2025. This is from NerdWallet, and it's showing if you make $100,000 gross, how much more you'll pay in taxes. It's about $90 more per month for everybody. Unfortunately, married separate gets the biggest chunk at $1,691. So this is why you need to know about the Spendthrift Trust. So I go to bed, wake up at 5 o'clock next morning, get online because I'm researching the Rockefeller Spendthrift Trust. It's called The Office. If I read an article about them and if they can save taxes, Sally can save taxes. It took me 5 months, but in September of 2020, I started both my business and beneficial Spendthrift Trust. Also, in September 2020, I became the first female mastermind in my real estate group, female, have mastermind in my real estate group, and I want to teach as many real investors how they can save taxes. So if you, with the beneficial spendthrift trust, you're going to save the following 5 taxes: capital gains, short-term and long-term, interest income, if you're a passive investor, a forex investor, in mutual funds, notes, seller financing, creative financing, dividend income, if you are in the stock market, a day trader, if you have commodities, options trading, or if you're living on dividends, rental income, if you're an investor, maybe it's short-term like Airbnb, vacation rentals, 5 doors, 10 doors, 20 doors, multifamily, apartment buildings, commercial, maybe you're doing arbitrage, arbitrage Airbnb or arbitrage rental, and then royalty income taxes. They're a little bit less, they're from 10% to 37%. What I'm showing you here, whoops, those short-term capital gains, interest income, dividend income, and rental income taxes are between 10 to 37%, depending on your tax bracket. But this is how much you would pay at $50,000 for 2024. Think about that. 24% be $12,000. This is my first house in the trust. I started my trust September of 2020. I bought this contract in July of 2020 for $20,000. If the house went to auction at $50,000 at 24%, I knew my taxes would be $7,140. I had to do 2 simple bill of sales, one from my LLC to me, second one from me to my trust. I drove to the bank, got them notarized. I went back home, scanned them, sent them to the attorney in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm still living in Phoenix. Next day, he sends me an email, says he needs the first page of my trust. When COVID restrictions got lifted, this house went to auction on August 28th, 2021, and it went up to $64,326. Woohoo! Sally made $44,326 without lifting a hammer, the way I like to invest. But more importantly, at 24%, my tax bracket, I saved $10,368 and just reused that savings into more property. Now we're going to talk about the business trust. The business trust is for all U.S. business owners, entrepreneurs, franchisee owners, and 1099 income earners. If you are a real estate agent, you're an insurance agent, you're an affiliate marketer, or you're a digital marketer, if you're making at least $80,000, you could be saving so much in taxes. This mechanic is in New Jersey. Husband and wife run the shop, have 3 grown children. They want nothing to do with the auto body shop. So in September, he went to the local high school and said, if you want to learn how to be an auto mechanic, he would pay them $15 an hour. They come after school and on Saturday. So he's bringing in more work and he's making more money. The salon owner and the salon school. She's got two salons and she runs a beauty school, making over $1 million a year. She's saving $33,467 per month. That's more than some people make in a year. The Shopify owner, she sells earrings. She's 23 years old. She too went from 22% to 24% tax bracket. And if she keeps her store for the next 10 years, she will have saved $173,000 and will never have to pay it back. The home inspection company in Ohio has 7 inspectors on employment. The real estate broker in Illinois, I made a presentation to his top 7 real estate agents. They are saving taxes. The dentist in California, the HVAC owner in Atlanta, Georgia has 12 drivers. This real estate agent, one house here in the Charlotte area in August of 2023, she saved $5,022. Last time I spoke to her, she had sold 6 more houses and got paid through the trust. She's paid off her trust and is saving thousands of dollars. The business coach in Indiana is saving $4,893 per month. The chiropractor in New York. The franchisee sub shop owner in Ohio has 2 shops with the $40,122. He's opened a 3rd shop. The Amazon store owner in Oregon is saving $4,701. The commercial lighting salesman works for a company. Only thing he told them was he has a new bank account, a new routing number. He was only working 3 days a week because he didn't want to pay more in taxes. So now he's working 5 days in a week, so he's going to be saving more than $3,615 per month. And finally, a paid speaker who travels around the world to be paid, saving $3,510 off his 2013 taxes. Now, if you are a business owner and you sell your business at a profit, you will pay either 15% or 20% in capital gains. This is a true story. The son contacted me on TikTok after seeing one of my videos. His father and mother were selling a 42-year-old restaurant on March 30th of 2023. And I explained to them on April 15th of 2024, at 15%, they would owe $450,000. And on April 15th, at 20%, $600,000. They're like, oh, we don't want to pay that. They were selling it through a business broker. So I contacted the business broker. His name's Sam. Told him we were going to have to change the paperwork. Sam, who also is a 1099 employee, he got the business trust. And then Sam told the gentleman who was buying the restaurant, it was going to be his 7th restaurant, Michael. He told Michael he needed to get a business trust. Because Sam referred Michael to me, Sam made an extra $1,000 with my referral fee. Now, this is another story, a true story. In March of 2023, I took my friend Ingrid door knocking on a cold, blustery day. This is our favorite New York style pizzeria in the Charlotte area. We showed up about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, ordered the best white pizza I've ever had, and sat and chit-chatted for about 2 hours. As we got up to leave, the owner, Mario, asked for my business card. A week later, I met Mario and Marianne, his wife. They were doing their 2022 taxes and knew with their 2 locations, they were making about $15,000 per month, gross, or $180,000 per year. At 90% in federal taxes, that's $27,193 they'd be saving. And then state income taxes on top of that would be $7,710. For a full year, they would save $34,903. They took that $34,903 and opened a 3rd location in 2024, closer to my house. I can't go in there. They keep giving me free food. And then in 2025, they're going to open a 4th location. When they retire in 2036, they're going to leave 2 pizzerias to 1 grown child and 2 pizzerias to another grown child. No inheritance tax, and they too will continue to save federal and state income taxes year after year, just like their parents, because they bought the Spendthrift Trust. Every time I sell a trust, I donate $100 in my mom's name to the oldest food bank in America. It's in Phoenix, Arizona. She was appalled when we moved to Phoenix, Arizona to find out that kids were going to bed hungry in Phoenix. She grew up food insecure in Ireland. My grandfather died December 1939. I can palm a basketball, and her fingers were an inch longer than mine. Now, if you would like to make a 30-minute tax breakthrough session with me, we just go out to www.thetrustisyou.com scheduling, or you can go out to my free class in the Great Discovery at www.sallygimmon.com. I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you learned something new. If you're making at least $80,000 a year, please make an appointment with me, and I'll take you out to NerdWallet. At my free class at the Great Discovery, you can get 3 articles from Forbes magazine, 2 pages of case law, a chart showing someone making $80,000 in 2024, how much they'll save in all 50 states, and examples of clients that I just showed you here. Have a beautiful Thanksgiving, and reach out to me so you can start saving taxes day after day. Take care.